All right, welcome. This looks better than we had anticipated in some of the previews here. Screen, we got cover. We're going to be doing a little bit of screen sharing today. Good afternoon, evening, good morning, and good night to all of you, depending on what side of the world you're on. My name is Alex. I am the founder of Zen, and we're here to talk a little bit about this week, some of the things that have occurred in the tech world as we often do with Zen Weekly and a few of our other publications, and kind of talk about real briefly about our latest Zen 2026 release, our product and release announcement that we dropped today. So very exciting. It is going to be a little bit condensed because I do need to I need to catch a flight. I'm about to take off. So we have a very small window, but we're really excited to get into this. So let's uh, let's let's start. This week felt like it was like 5 years of progress compressed into 7 days. Like pretty much every week in artificial intelligence, it was one thing after the next. We had not your traditional AI firework starters, which are OpenAI and Google, usually the ones launching model updates, or Anthropic with Claude. But we'll start with Google. Google had a pretty cool marketing release this week, and we did get a chance to try it out. I think it's available for anyone with a Gmail account, which is almost every adult human on Earth. And their product that they released this week was called Pomeli. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. It was opened for public use about 2 days ago, within the last 48 hours. So I'm going to share my screen here. Hopefully I don't lag too much. And feel free to scan at any time the QR code you see right here. That's not a typo, or somebody, porting and hacking into our stream. That is for the Zen Arena. You can try all of the world's top models. GPT-5, GPT-6 when it comes out, or 5.5. Google Gemini 2.5, Gemini 3 when it comes out, 2.5 Pro, 2.5 Flash, and Nano Banana, all available for free. You can create an account for even more credits and usage. Claude Sonnet 4.5, ZAI, GLM 4.6, Gwen 3, Gwen 3 Coder, and many more. So give it a shot. It's free to sign up, free to join. And we're going to share our screen here. So let me know if you can see this. Good. Pomeli by Google. It's a Google Labs experiment. Google Labs is a way Google gets to flex on OpenAI by just dropping. If so, let me do a different screen here. I'm sorry, I'm going to segue into this. If you haven't had a chance to try Google Labs, do yourself a favor and like immediately try it out. Google Labs, just give it a gander, run by, scroll through real quick, surf the old web surf. You need to give Google Labs a visit. It's like 50 different where is it? 50 different like experimental apps that they just launched for free. They're all free. Some of them, yeah, you get a little bit of extended use if you pay or join. AI mode, many of you have probably heard of. That's obviously the first one, but it leads you to this like pinned or focused lab project. So Google Finance, that wouldn't be on, and then you can try it. Agentic capabilities in AI mode, just an extra add-on or plugin for AI mode. We got Google app for Windows. Definitely need that. We got the web guide. So it's an AI organized search results page that experiments with how we find Surface. Just turn it all on. Give it a shot. I don't need that. The audio review, so I'm not going to turn that one on. Daily Listen is like a recap. I'm assuming it uses Notebook LM to kind of generate a little podcast for you. So for those of you who have not tried these, Whisk, Flow, Notebook LM we'll get to. I believe we covered that in a different stream, but Notebook LM is an all-in-one creation studio. It creates podcast overviews, video shorts, quizzes, flashcards, infographics, web apps. Web apps are an extension of Gemini, but it's a really good studio where you can turn even a few sentences or your website by pasting your URL right into the knowledge source bar and make an almost, what's the word I'm looking for? Improv. There we go. Improv rag studio, I guess you could say, to an extent. That's kind of what Notebook LM is. An improv rag studio. I almost wasn't going to get the what I was looking for. Flow is a way to use VO in a controlled director's environment. So you can create storyboard add-ons and add an image here, image here, image here, or image here, prompt in 10-second chunks. So you can create an entire 60-second to eventually hour-long video or movie, which is why Tyler Perry canceled the development of his hundred and some $100 million production studio, allegedly in Hollywood a few years ago when he saw the original Sora 1 preview. That's true. You can look that up. Tyler Perry apparently canceled the production of his movie studio in Hollywood, the construction of it, after he saw a Sora 1 demo. So these are just some of their labs. So if we want to discover more, let's go to the actual Google Labs page. I don't know why they don't just take you there to begin with, but they don't. So Pomeli is what we're going to be previewing today here, their new little experiment. It's for marketing, generative marketing, but they have Opal, a really cool place to build mini apps. Sharing this, I am sharing this tab. Okay, cool. There is a ton. So this is where I'm talking about. They just kind of flex all of their tools here. Let me zoom in, reset. So view all of them. We got Poly, Mixboard. I mean, they have literal categories because they have that many. So Opal, we've tried pretty much all of these. Mixboard is like a whiteboard or a canvas. Opal is a really cool drag and drop app builder. Let me actually go to that. So we're going to go to Opal because we have built a few projects in here just really quickly. And again, all these things are as easy as they can possibly get. They're not just drag and drop easy. I'm saying prompt easy. They're prompt to app. Opal is I'm not sure why Google doesn't advertise things that are in their labs. I know they are in beta mode or prototype still, but Opal is a production ready app builder. I mean, it's scary simple. So let's take a look here. You guys can see my screen. I want to grab wet my whistle. So EDU video maker, educational video maker. Let's go to a better one here. Poster with a Z because it's a Zen made app, which means, let's see. So here's the beginning part right here. These beginning prompts, user input. We can drag and drop these, put them anywhere, and include different content in here. It's like anything that if you've ever used a RAG or any of those drag and drop retrieval augmented generation AI builders or agent builders that do this. So you can just put a little bit in here. You can change the title of it. Obviously, we're going to get rid of this one, but this helps kind of generate the flow and user journey per se for when they first get in the app. So if we go to the preview, that's the cool part, is it's right here, and you can see all the different little tiles that you have. So this is the generate. If we add a generate one, see, you can choose the model, and this is the best part about Opal. For those of you who do not have access to like a paid version of Gemini Pro or something, you can look at this. Look at this suite of apps you have here. You have 2.5 Flash, 2.5 Pro. You can execute, so it's kind of like a function function calling, but a little bit better. Deep research, Imagine 4, which is their newest video or image gen model. Newer than Nano Banana, I think. Not the same capabilities, a little bit different, but Nano Banana you can use and edit your new image gen with Imagine 4 and edit it with Nano Banana. Audio LM. You can basically build your own version of a notebook LM in here, minus a few things. So generates instrumental music. I mean, I don't know what you cannot build in here. So let's see the whole thing. This is a very simple. So we're going to get rid of the output here because we've already set our outputs in place. So if we delete this, let's take a look at what we have for ours. If we go into one of our generate prompts, here's what our structured tile looks like. It's using 2.5 Flash because 2.5 is really good. Hell, Gemma 3 is really good and capable. Gemma 2 wasn't bad, which is, for those of you who do not know, it's their small local models, 2 and 3 billion parameters, whereas Gemini 2.5 Pro is like trillion, 1 to 3 trillion, I think. So here's where you can, get you're referencing what they typed, the user typed earlier on. The input here for the description was the input for the preferences, and it pops that right into this tile right here, the generate image starter prompt, and that's what eventually gets sent to our end version app, our user interface. What we end up, we're going to show you here in a few seconds, but it does that for each of these. So this is 2.5 Flash. This is Nano Banana. This one is also Nano Banana. If we go down a little bit more here, we're going to see that this one is another Imagine 4 poster with Nano Banana. So it's saying, so this mismatch here, it named it Imagine 4 and Gemini 2.5 Flash because this was a prompt generated edit. So you can, like we were saying earlier, you can drag and drop and you can connect these here. So this connects to this, so on and so forth, connects to here. Or if you really want to do it quickly, you can just tell it, hey, add this or add that, and it will add that in for you. It will add the properties, the prompt, placeholder, templates, all that, it'll add for you. So if we try this app out, we're going to go on to other things because it does take a little bit to generate. So give me a few seconds here. So here we go. I'm just going to pop in 2 pre-saved prompts and we're going to give it a little bit. It does have a console, so you can kind of watch what it does, which is awesome. I think this is one of the best parts. You watch as it's passed to each of these tiles and it kind of goes through. It's like a newer, more interactive console. For those, it's not as technical. It's not going to have all, just bash. It's like a bash or Windows shell or something like that. It's a little bit more user friendly, I think, beginner friendly for sure. So it's showing what it's doing for each of these. And if we go to Pomeli, we can go, and I'm going to leave poster for a second because it's going to be stuck in this for a good 3 to 4 minutes. If you can see, it's still in the first one. Google is just carpet bombing the artificial intelligence space. It's wild. So Pomeli, and I'm sure I'm saying this wrong because I'm saying it so many times, so I'm going to stop saying the new lab feature that Google came out with allows you to create marketing DNA per se, and then generate campaigns from that. So business DNA, let's go to ours. Just Duck It. We made one for Duck. If you're watching this, buddy, we did make a marketing campaign for you. I was going to send it to you, but I couldn't. Pomeli had some issues when they first launched, like within the first 24 hours. Their team on Twitter or on X, where they came out saying, hey, everybody has growing pains, or something along the lines of saying, like, please bear with us, we're new. This app is new. So there was something going on with it around the time when we tried to generate your marketing campaign, Duck. So we put it on pause, and another 24 hours passed. I guess they got it fixed. So we'll finish that and we'll post it after this and tag you. The business DNA here, let's go to Zen's. So real sleek user interface here. Business name, obviously, that's our legal name. Our images, which actually had things in them. I'm not really sure where those images went. But if you go to our campaigns, because we created campaigns from them, maybe I didn't save them. I'm not really sure what happened to this. So okay, let's go back then, since it didn't save anything. Maybe they're still experiencing those bugs. So yeah, I had a thumbnail in here and everything. So let's go to images. Yeah, maybe there's just an issue. Let me see. I'm sharing this tab. Okay, you guys weren't able to see my screen at all this whole time because I wasn't sharing. I was sharing the Opal experiment where something apparently went wrong. Let me see here. Oh, it says no. This might. So the oops, something went wrong occurred because this prompt may violate policies about generating unsafe content. So let me try it again here. Style. And it didn't give me that error earlier because I've literally run and copy and pasted those prompts ready to go. So let's give this another shot with the business DNA. I'm just going to go to some of our more generic. Okay, we got the Zen upload here. So obviously thing is off with Pomeli. It's not my app, but it's a really cool app. Give it a shot if you guys have a chance. labs.google.com/u/1/Pomeli. Or just go to the labs.google and you'll be able to find it there. So Opal is a little mini drag and drop app builder. You do have their new marketing tool that they've dropped. You have Mixboard, moving archive, stacks, music code box. We're going to get into a little bit more. I think moving archives is a cool one. I've given that a shot in some old family photos. Depending on how some of you feel or whether you like or don't like that type of thing. I know some people are anti-AI when it comes to like heritage or bringing family into the equation. So if we get back to our mainstream news and occurrences of the week, AI in cancer research. At the NFCR Global Summit, researchers demoed AI-driven tools accelerating drug discovery and personalized oncology. It's not replacing scientists, it's letting them see patterns hidden inside chaos. It's the molecular choreography of life, for lack of a better word. Purdue Raptor system, AI and semiconductor integrity. This is a verified concept. Raptor detects microscopic faults in chips with a 97.6% accuracy. This means cleaner chips, which equals fewer hallucinations, better edge reliability, which means being able to run things better on your devices, your laptops, cell phones, wearables, glasses, so on and so forth. So DeepSeek R1 model. Don't panic. Don't tank NVIDIA's stock, please. 70% cheaper training. It's emerging, but partially verified. China's DeepSeek just kind of shook up the compute economy in January of this year, tanking NVIDIA because of a lack of understanding of the correlation that DeepSeek was run on an NVIDIA infrastructure. So we weren't too sure why that happened at the time, and it did balance out, but their open weight approach, it's like a $6 million to $12 million baseline or starting capital for what they built. Now, can you get a DeepSeek R1 with that amount of money and that infrastructure? Just to begin with, that there's a massive variable that comes into you being able to pull that off. There's a number of variables that come into influencing that overall possibility of you being able to do that. So the AI industry stats to watch for: the global market, $391 billion value. 1.8% of new jobs are AI. 90% of tech workers use AI daily, and that goes up daily, probably by the second. I don't really know what those remaining 10% would be doing. That's my lack of doing homework, but I'm not really sure what you'd be doing if you're in tech. You're in a software related position. You're especially the state of the economy and the market right now, and you're not using artificial intelligence. 92% of students in all major state colleges and universities use artificial intelligence on a daily basis for schoolwork. Healthcare. This is as of January of this year, so I'm sure it's changed. 66% of U.S. physicians use AI for diagnosis and monitoring daily. AI is no longer the edge; it's the baseline. It's here. It's almost cliche or corny to kind of, or taboo to talk about it in like a, yeah, AI this, AI that. When we first started this, it was like, everything was innovative. People were seeing these tools like, oh my God. And now people are almost like, oh my God, it's different. Oh my God has changed. So OpenAI Sora 2 generates up to 60-second clips. I do like Sora 2. I don't know that it was much different from Sora 1. I don't want to get rocks and stones thrown at me. I'm not in it every day using it like some of these great generators out there. I think for storyboards and stuff, the consistency could be better, but I don't know, the leaps were not as great as I was seeing in those early stage videos. They looked so impressive and incredible. And it just seems like that consistency of the quality and texture really isn't there, at least from my experience. So China's emerging tech roadmap. They have a 10-year plan covering everything: quantum, brain-computer interfaces, photonic technology, wearables. I mean, you name it, invisibility, cloaks, augmented reality contacts. We have that as well, but they have a lot. Fusion powered vehicles, fusion powered everything, infrastructure, which is almost infinite power and energy. They see tech as infrastructure. China does not see tech as an app. That's what I've always been taught and told by some of the great minds that I've been fortunate to be surrounded by. China is not seeing anything as an app. They're seeing it more as part of their long-term infrastructure play, military. It's always used as something internal, not something to for the consumer to dictate in any way. The consumer, if anything, serves as a fuel for data over there, and that's about it. And with the new synthetic data technology and apps and models we have out there, I don't even know if it's something that's necessary. So the consciousness debate, we're not going to get into that today. Too long of a week. The consciousness debate is for another day. Let's get into some of our more vibe coding section, the vibe coding category of this week. Right after we talk about, give me a second here. I need to read this. I got an important. We'll get into this. We made an announcement today that it was truly incredible for Zen. It's a major step forward, and in the long run will be looked at as a massive leap. We are extremely privileged to be where we are in the United States AI literacy landscape, but the focus is so off of that. It's there as just to look good. It's not in any way. It is, even in its infancy when some of these initiatives started, and I'm not talking about the AI Pioneer program. They were started out of such a selfish and non-genuine place that could not be sustainable in any way, nor would it be beneficial to students, especially in this how we're seeing the AI future forward world play out, where it's really dictating everything. It's the layoffs, all these things. There's no warning track or anything. We're thrust to the front while we say, oh wow, I guess this is what is possible, and it's not always something that's beneficial to the average everyday citizen. So we're gonna skip forward here for what we really can discuss. So we're gonna get back into vibe coding. So the top vibe coding platforms as of this day where we sit, Cursor, obviously, it's been the front of the pack and at the top of headlines since generative coding even became a thing. Lovable, one of my favorites, a great platform, very smooth, simple, easy to use. And they do have a really cool weekly competition called Lovable Launched, where you can submit your projects up. I think you can submit up to 5, maybe 10. And if you win, you get a monetary amount in credits. So they give you Lovable credits up. You probably, I think, can get up to a year's worth for free if you win. And people vote. All Lovable users are able to vote. We were fortunate to come in second place one week, and runner-up does get a prize. So very cool platform. Vercel is not the generative AI. They do have generative AI in Vercel. That's kind of the master dashboard and hosting platform. But VO. So if we go and we take a look at VO here, let's go back in. I don't know why we're looking at all these things. So I'm going to share. We're bouncing around a little bit here, but it's because we're pressed for time, and I want to make sure we get to all of these. So we're going to go back to our poster Opal experiment, and you can see how easy it is to now build your own app that actually has some pretty robust capabilities. So here's our literal drag and drop app called Poster. And if you were watching the earlier part about 10-15 minutes ago, we put our prompt in. Very straightforward and simple because the saved one I had didn't work anymore. So you put in your prompt, the product description, the style preference, and this is you can add like 50 over here if you want to, however many, as many inputs as you would like. The app, if we want to expand it, we go right here. It has a little generate platform or section right here, a little like nav panel per se. That's just kind of a chatbot style where you can choose from pre-selected starter prompts and it will generate as well, or you can select from your initial prompts that you let off with. You can click these, download them. It shows what it's generated by, Nano Banana. This was Imagine 4. And then if we just do a little bit, click that and we'll generate. It'll add on, and you can keep adding these different things. You can click Assemble Poster. So this is a poster generation app where you select, I think I actually need to select all of these. So I selected 4 out of 5. And it'll assemble the poster then for you. And you can select the layout options for how it is in here, and then what that poster will look like. But you can build any type of app. They do have a lot of starter apps too, if you want to get a little bit of get your creative juices sparked. So let's hop into Cursor. Obviously, is an app. We're not going to jump into that right now. You can check it out. You have to install it on whatever your local platform is. Whether it's Windows, Mac, it's great. I think I've found personally it's a little bit smoother with Mac, with the MacBook. So we're going to share this stream right here, or this tab. This is Lovable, and it shows. Should show you me logging in. It's very straightforward. You can do Gmail or GitHub login, and they have a good community. I would say Lovable and Vercel have the biggest community as far as templates go. We have our project that we built for the National Park Service. Thank you, National Park Service, NPS, for the opportunity to work with you guys and build a platform for you that's beneficial for your students and some of the programs you have run this past summer, and we're looking forward to next spring. And we have built quite a few through here. It has really robust hosting capabilities with Supabase. Yeah, it uses Supabase as like a database, SQL, SQL. It's a pretty easy platform to integrate. It's really good for visuals and data visualization. So this is an example of one of our collaboration graphs. It's literally just a template. We do work B2B, SaaS, we would say that ZEN is. We do quite a bit of small to medium-sized business contracts, mainly integrating software and platforms like SharePoint, ADP, booking software, booking platforms like Molo or Stellar IMF for arenas. We would use booking platforms for, I'm sorry, I'm not a very good multitasker. So if you click on these little individual nodes, you see how it'll let you actually take control and add different tools and details to each of these. It's pretty cool. Take a look if you have a chance. We will share this in the comments of the video afterwards. But we have, so our project that we submitted was a physics engine. It's a really basic physics engine, but if we take a look, there it is, the space-time sculptor that was edited about a month ago. They have a really nice community template. I don't know, I guess they don't have anything for prototypes, but internal tools, websites, personal, they have some really, really great templates out there. vo.dev is what Vercel is for the vibe coding app. So if you're going to reference Vercel as a vibe coding app, you're not really talking about Vercel. You're talking about this, which is vo.dev. So we go into vo.dev. We're going to sign in. Again, very, very user-friendly, like Lovable. You just use that good old Google Gmail login, and boom, it authenticates you. We've built a ton of projects in here. Like Lovable, it does sync directly to GitHub, so you can push all of your projects directly to their own brand new repo. It starts it automatically. Let's take a look at this AI Gateway Starter. Give it a heart right here. We love the AI Gateway Starter. That is what Vercel is famous for, is their AI SDK. Very great acronym, fun to say. And it gives you one API key for thousands of different AI models. All the major AI models out there. I'm not going to name all of them, but Gemini 2.5 Pro, 2.5 Flash, Nano Banana, GPT-5, GPT-4o, 4.5. You can think about it, they have it. So this is the AI Gateway Starter. Right here, you can start different conversations, and it does show you what model you're speaking with. You can change the aesthetic, and you can tell it to generate you an image, generate a and if you can see generate an image, it's using 2.5 Flash image preview, which is Google Gemini. It's going to use Claude Sonnet 4.5 to generate an app for you in the interface right here. Really cool when you can make updates. You can see the code version if you're a dev vet and you're familiar with any form of code, TypeScript. It loves Vercel, VO loves some TypeScript. So we got right up here, boom, select the scope. You would select obviously your profile that you want to create the repository for. And boom, just like that, you send it right to GitHub. And you can edit it from GitHub. You can use Cursor to edit something. That's, I think, the coolest thing with all these generative AI vibe coding tools. Most of them stay cognitive and mindful of the fact that there are other tools that you're going to use to edit out there. So all these can be pushed to GitHub, which means you can use Codex or Cursor to work on it for more in-depth, which is usually, honestly, I think what we do with a lot of our projects is we'll get a feel for it or an idea of the aesthetic, the design in these generative coding apps. AI.dev is a great one, vo.dev, Lovable. But once you get the overall outline, you push it to GitHub and you make some changes in there. And that's where you really start to grind and etch out the fine details and what the app is going to look like, all your integrations and everything. But VO, real quick before we leave, has added some really great new side tab navigation options for rules, project rules, custom instructions, reference sources, variables, environment variables, integrations. There's a design, so you can create your own design template and then integrate that outside of this screen here. But this is just, how they would do it, the design tab, where you can actually click different parts, click this and add a different file to it, maybe change the background. Great place, vo.dev, give it a shot. Base 44 is another one. We're not going to jump into it because we don't have enough time. I'm going to we are going to jump into it because we do have enough time. Base 44, a really, really good, I don't know if it's .com, but I'm going to give it a shot and think that it is. Base 44 is another generative vibe coding app. So we pop in here, you sign in with your Gmail, and this one was not built by any, I think I heard it was built by Wix, but I'm not 100% certain, so I don't want to quote that. They do have a great community as well for templates and things that you can fork or duplicate and use in your own customized way. So let's go to data and analytics. A lot of different styles here. If we go to our own, so we're going to go to apps. We've generated 2 so far. Let's go back to the home page here. They have a little bit different style, and I do like it for how you select your style. So see, they have add styling instructions, neo-brutalism. They do have neomorphism, which is really, really cool. We're going to use that one. We pop that in, and then it just uses it. Some of the other ones that they have: glass morphism, material design. I wish they had the new Apple liquid glass. You can get that by using this and just editing the prompt on your own. So, and it'll show who it's used by. That's really, really nice. We're going to actually go clay morphism instead, and then do create. It's going to take a little bit, but in that time while we wait, because we're rapid firing our AI news this week and our AI developments, we're going to actually pop in back into Google Labs. So one of the things that we did is we wanted to create a full frame, a full all-encompassing commercial or product showcase release with a product that we then reviewed in one of these weekly Zen Weeklies. And we are going to do that, but we're not going to do it this week. We're going to do it next week. We're going to dive back into Flow to show you guys how we made what we're going to talk about today with some of our releases. Jules is like a codex, so a very cool app, similar to Codex. It's like a coding agent. But yeah, before we sign off for the day, we're going to get into our products that we're releasing and that we released our Vibe generated commercial with today in our product release. It's about a 51-second video that shows NFT glass cards with kind of like a terminal display showing all the different apps and initiatives and things that we're coming out with in the next few months. So give me 1 second and we're going to segue into our next part. I'm going to pull up a video for us. All right, so we're in a really unique position as the first company to facilitate a successful youth AI literacy platform in U.S. history for students ages 11 to 18. They created their own Hugging Face spaces, embedded their own apps in Google Sites, created clothing and other laptop cases and things like that with images that they coded with generative image bots that they built using an OpenAI API key and their Hugging Face. It was a full, I've never heard that noise before. It was a full, all-encompassing, full circle program. And that's what we like to do at Zen, is fully sustainable programs showing you how things are built, our advertisements, our marketing, all that. We didn't use Pomeli or whatever Google's platform is. Okay, so that noise that you might have heard, that dinging noise, was Base 44 finishing our vibe coded app. Base 44 has emerged, in my opinion, as one of the late bloomers in the vibe coding environment. A really, really solid platform that has consistent results. As you can see, this is from my expectations. I like it. I think it's pretty decent. It's a soft, not a lot of them like to go for the very hard, vibrant colors that are too deep. This is nice. That has like a chalk or a slate soft overlay over the colors to give it a more sophisticated look. It has this protruding button here in the new morphism, like matte button here for 2026. This text is much better. A lot of them will default, not obviously your Lovables or Vercel or vo.dev, but some of them will default to like Times New Roman or just Arial or something like that. This will give you something a little bit better. So I was trying to wait for this to finish. The products that we're releasing in 2026, and actually a little bit sooner, I'm going to announce that one of these are coming out on Christmas Eve. But we are releasing Type, Sheets, Zen Vanguard program, which is the Zen AI Pioneer program for adults and professionals, individuals that are already in a career. They don't have a chance to maybe go back to college for however long it may take for some form of engineering, robotic engineering. They need to get the knowledge to be self-sustaining in the work environment in this day and this age. And for those of you who don't work a 9-to-5 job or haven't been on that scene in a long time, it is a very demanding space right now. Layoffs are at an all-time high. Staffing is at an all-time low, but productivity is at an all-time high, and demand has never been greater. So there's a vast amount that is expected amongst many workers in the 9-to-5 or just career landscape that are not working your gig jobs or your influencer jobs, that they're not being compensated more. And it's because there are less jobs, there's more layoffs. And just because you're doing a lot more work and there's been all these layoffs doesn't mean you're valued more, unfortunately, in this market. It means that you need to do this work or we're going to find somebody else, because the employee market has never been more saturated. There's, 1 billion employees for every job that's out there. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but it's not a great place to be as a worker, as an employee right now. So we're hoping that these 6 products that we're releasing can really, not all of them are focused obviously towards the everyday working American, or Canadian, Mexican, whatever country you may come from, as we've expanded to many more countries and states since our first 15 state cohort in 2024. But these are geared towards specifically the Zen Vanguard program. It's an at your own pace course. It's not the 8-week, 16-week, or intensive 26-week program that we did and are facilitating across the United States and 41 states with students after school for after school AI literacy labs, nor is it the summer program for 2 months. It can be done in 2 months. It can take as long as a year. It depends completely on you as an individual, how long you want to build. And that's one of the coolest things about the Zen AI, the Zen Vanguard program, is the modules are not anywhere. They're completely shifted and focused on a 2025 working American, and what a professional's life looks like. Whether you're a mom with 4 kids who has to take their kids to soccer practice and football practice and things like that, you can do it, while you're sitting in the bleachers on your phone. It's mobile friendly. It allows you to build on top of each module. So you're able to build out and build things, add to your GitHub repo, build more Hugging Face spaces, custom Copilot agents, that you're not just building for some cool certificate or badge that you hope some employer values someday, but you're actually building content that, in tonight's module, I'm building, a reports Copilot agent that can also forecast and email reports to people on a periodic basis in Microsoft, and then send Teams notifications to people for new trends or hiring needs that we may need tomorrow. Like I'm going to do this tonight, and I'm going to learn how to configure this Copilot tonight. And tomorrow morning, when I go back to the office, or I clock in online, or I log in online from home, I'm going to be able to launch that Copilot and use it today. So the value goes far beyond what you're learning in those courses. It goes into what you're going to be able to bring with you. You come into Zen with nothing, or with whatever knowledge you may have of artificial intelligence, and you come out with a basket full of artificial intelligence agents, automation workflows, and things that are already in place and there to make your life and your productivity easier. It's designed to make you more proficient, more agile and capable as a working American in 2025, 26, 27 through 45. We want to make sure we're staying ahead of the curve. We're giving you the most intuitive and time conscious tools out there. So it's not, we're not thinking you're going to build this 7,500 file repository over the course of a year, 2 months, however long. It's not about that. It's building the solutions for you, understanding what you need as a professional, whether you're looking to pivot careers, upskill in your current job, maybe get a promotion in a few months, a few years from now, depending on what your career path is. Become a physician, a lawyer, maybe just become a credentialed in these areas. Maybe learn how to generate art or poems or websites. You want a side hustle. The Zen Vanguard program customizes that for you as a working American, or as an adult in this world. We're able to adapt. This program adapts to your needs, your style, your learning style, and also how you're growing throughout the program. And I'm really proud of what we've built with this. I think our team did a great job, and we think you guys are gonna love it, and not just love it, but really take it with you. And we hope that the hope with the Zen Vanguard program is not that you're going to be at point A, and by point B you're going to be an AI expert. I know that's what a lot of people want, this conveyor belt where you go in, not an expert, come out, you're an AI expert. You will master AI skills and workflow generation and building, but you will also be able to grow, and you might realize, I know how to build agents and configure them, no problem. I know how to use APIs from different platforms, or get tokens and endpoints and things like that. I want to generate credentials with ADP and be able to pull staffing information from there periodically, but I don't know how to do, I don't know how to build with or integrate model context, MCPs, model context protocols. I want to learn how to do that. You can shift, so the majority of the content left over on your Zen Vanguard program is geared towards what you want to. There's a bonus package at the end that allows you to get an add-on module specifically towards what you'd like to retool and reskill. And if you don't know what that is, there's suggestions from the Zen Assistant, which will be with you all the way throughout each section of each module. So we're really excited for that. I've spent a lot of our time talking on the Zen Vanguard program, so won't be able to show as much love to these others, but they are every bit as much important. Type it's an AI graphics studio. You know what? We might as well open this guy up. How do you do that? Never done it on base 44 before. Zenith.ai. Very cool. So I jumped the gun. Everybody. I'm sorry about that. Publish it. It's too many loading ones here. So we're going to move on to type. I should have just stayed on what we were on. Type is it's a little bit, for those of you who've been in AI .dev, it's similar to the p5.js playground, where you can generate these interactive simulations, physics engines, just really simple particle click interactions. It's really cool for things like that, but it has an intuitive AI aspect built into it. Oh my God, did I cut out? Did it just cut me in the middle of our fucking product?